is doing his normal agitation business in Nairobi, what do you call this? Nairobi, Kenya. You swooped on him, you handcuffed him, and blindfolded him. It is wrong. It is an international crime. It is impossible. Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. He will be released unconditionally to his kinsmen. Unconditional release. That's what we stand. If you hold Nnamdi Kanu there, you are holding every Boma. 3 years ago, when Nnamdi Kanu was illegitimately brought to Nigeria, he's going to answer to it because Nnamdi Kanu must go to court with him. If not, the whole Biafran nation will go to court with Kenya. Which Tinubu has been subjected over how many months he resumed office is much intensified on a daily basis. And the density, that's the intensity of that pressure is getting him off balance. He's not getting his bearing now. What I mean by pressure is not only local pressure, but international pressure. Nigerians are abusing Yorubas, original Hausas, and Igbos, and even other Igbo sisters tribe in the southern Nigeria, at least worrying, bothering Tinubu, sending letters, calling, going at least going to Aso Rock. I didn't understand. Requesting, asking, discussing with Tinubu to make sure that he let Nnamdi Kanu off the SS cage. Because of course it has been crystal clear over how many months now, over a year, that court during Buhari regime exonerated Nnamdi Kanu, discharged and acquitted. Are you listening to me? Yet, Malami did not agree. Buhari did not agree. And we've not seen the reason why. Then he took them to court. Umuahia High Court. Nnamdi Kanu won with libel suit of 2 billion. Another time, I don't know where he took the case, I think Abuja. This young man won there, presided by the same Nyako. So now Nyako, the judge, is tired. Tinubu is saying that Nnamdi case, Biafra issue, is weighing down on Binta and Nyako. Binta and Nyako doesn't know the reason why they should be coming forward with Nnamdi Kanu. He's confused. The woman is confused. That's why he started going for outside court settlement, so that she will remove her head. Okay, issue of judgment, presiding judges, they have issues. Falsifying judgment, delivering wrong judgment. They will write it down for you. Later, it will play against you. If not that you are demoted, people will come after you. You cannot just come and mess justice and go scot-free. So I'm seeing the woman being apprehensive. The danger of being dishonest on somebody's life. Because this has to do with life and death. Somebody is doing his normal agitation business in Nairobi, what do you call this? Nairobi, Kenya. You swooped on him, you handcuffed him, and blindfolded him. It is wrong. It is an international crime. And from then, you have been keeping him in one place for over 8 months now. 3 years plus. Doing nothing. They sue him to court, they brought him to court. They thought that judges will be like Lai Mohammed. They thought that justice will be like Malami, Ewu Awusa. They thought that justice will be exactly like Kachima Chetima, or what Buhari thinks. They don't know that court of law is court of law. They follow law. They don't judge anybody wrongly. So after going through what is going on, what went wrong, they found out that Nnamdi Kanu was illegally abducted from Nairobi. And they gave order right in the court that Nigerian government should take him back. That Nigerian government violated the same pact they entered into in the past against abduction, extradition without following due process. Legal documents should be brought forward to anywhere if you wanted to extradite somebody. Umar Diko almost ended up in casing. Nigeria Abacha regime didn't want to go through what due process to extradite Umaru Diko. He sent the agents that drugged him, put him in casing, just like container anyway. But that one, it was a wooden container to bring him illegally to Nigeria. The British was not aware. It is part of what diplomatic row between Nigeria and Britain. And what happened today? We are seeing another drama, another saga of a familiar issue with Umaru Diko, Nnamdi Kanu's case. And we're all Africans. Whether Naruto or Ritu or Uhuru was in power 3 years ago when Nnamdi Kanu was illegitimately brought to Nigeria, he's going to answer to it because Nnamdi Kanu must go to court with him. If not, the whole Biafran nation will go to court with Kenya. To know why Kenya should descend that kind of law to the level of dancing to the government of the worst, the most uneducated president Nigeria has ever had. The administration of Buhari abducted Nnamdi from Nairobi, Kenya, and brought him here. Are you listening to me? So they violated international law. Nnamdi Kanu knows law. You and I, we know that we have small-scale experience of what law is, though we are not lawyers. But you shouldn't abduct somebody. Nnamdi Kanu is not under arrest. He's not a prisoner. Nnamdi Kanu is what? A hostage. Hostage is the name given to anybody illegally or forcefully abducted by criminals. So, and Nigeria has now criminalized both Buhari government and the Tinubu government. Because holding Nnamdi Kanu in detention there has made Tinubu government a criminal government. Kidnapping government. It should allow him to go. In 2018, 2017, 2016 to 2014, Nnamdi Kanu was agitating. Nnamdi Kanu was agitating. Nnamdi Kanu was agitating with IPOB members. He did not use gun. Nnamdi Kanu was not using gun. Nnamdi Kanu was doing his normal agitation business without hurting anybody. I listen to me. You still tag this guy criminal, a terrorist. Who tells you that an Igbo man is a terrorist? It is a lie. Pathological one.
No proof of it.
They have no proof. They have not come out with any evidence. This government is full of lies. Buhari government is full of lies and double standardness. Double standard. So this time around, Nnamdi Kanu should be out. I have a question to ask to the members of the public. When Igbo was arrested, when they went to Igbo's house, did they discover gun or not? An agitation that was not up to 2 years. Igbo, they discovered arms in his house. Yet, what happened? Tinubu went direct, even without court consent. Released Igbo. He did not go through any judicial or legal process in Nigeria. Igbo is free today. But in Nnamdi Kanu, because he's an Igbo man, we allow him to be languishing in jail. It is impossible. Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. He will be released unconditionally to his kinsmen. Unconditional release, that's what we stand. If you hold Nnamdi Kanu there, you are holding every Igbo man, and that is defeating the worst hostility against Igbo man in Nigerian history. Hostility, animosity against Igbo man in Nigeria's history.
And he's preaching disunity.
His court is causing disunity. There is disunity already because Biafra can never stay. Igbo man can never stay. Igbo man can never stay. It is too late for Fulani. It is too late for their Yoruba errand boys, errand Yoruba tribe. Nnamdi Kanu must go. Whether you bring him or you don't bring him, Biafra must come. Referendum is in our constitution, any country's constitution. They don't know the meaning of referendum. That's why they are stealing our money. And nobody's talking because we are Nigerians. We are Mumu. Anything where they talk, we do. Tokuna, we do. Political tokuna, we do. That is what we are saying. That's what we are saying. So that's why Nnamdi Kanu must actually be extricated from DSS facilities.
Are you not looking at if there's anything to Nnamdi Kanu, do you not think this will cause problem for Nigeria?
Anytime they release him.
Yeah, no, like if anything happens to Nnamdi Kanu in prison, do you not think this will be a problem for Nigeria? If anything bad happens to Nnamdi Kanu,
that's what we are saying now. If anything happens to him, that Biafra they are running away from, it will come as easy as my. They will have to, blame themselves because if Nnamdi Kanu come out legal through the due process, there are many agreements. There should be many dialoguing. Things should be discussed in order. But if you allow him to die in the court, in the DSS prison or detention, that is when you will know that Nnamdi Kanu is not a puppy or kid from goat. I listen to me. He's a baby from human. Human being gave birth to Nnamdi Kanu. If he dies in the cell there, you will know that time is when you know the importance of Igbo man across Africa. Because they are not seeing us as valuable people. They see us as slaves. To Fiakwa, Igbo man, slave. I'm not a slave. Anybody that is trying to look at Igbo man as the last class or slave, Igbo man a slave in Nigeria, slavery, servitude is coming, and they are the one that is going to show the worst part of slavery in the history of this world. We turn all of them get men in the southeast. Who is a slave to them? See, let me tell you, Nnamdikanu must come out. Nnamdikanu must come out. This time around, I can see United Nations, I can see the West doing something about it. Remitinubu's fear is true. Much pressure on Tinubu. You are busy sharing Nigerian money, and then Nnamdikanu should remain there. When your so-called ministers, all the government advisors are busy cutting billions into their what? Into their various accounts. And everybody is pointing accusing finger at Nnamdikanu because they are thieves. None of them want to do the normal thing. Nnamdikanu must be out.
Answer him, Zeke. He said, let us forget our differences and come together and collect this independence from white men. Ahmadu Bello told him, Zeke, let us solve our differences first.
Okay, world-renowned novelist Chinua Achebe has come out to say that the Igbos were the one that solicited for one Nigeria initially. That the northern group, led by the Saduna, that is Ahmadu Bello and Awolowo of the Oduduwa, were the one that even opposed one Nigeria. But initially, the Igbos were the one that solicited for one Nigeria, followed in the footstep of the Igbos. Do you think that Nigeria should have been more better than the way it is currently?
I am Mr. Kmarajani Okokondem in this Republic of Biafra. Live by Mazin Nnamdikanu and East POB government of Biafra. Long live Republic of Biafra. Long live Mazin Nnamdikanu. You see, Chinua Achebe, well-known novelist, let me say from Nigeria, and well-known novelists all over the world. You know much about Biafra. You participate in cause of Biafra on behalf of Biafra. You know the truth. You know the truth of Nigeria. He was one of the learned people in Nigeria before independence. And what he said is reality. No two ways about it. The then Eastern Nigerian, including the then Midwest of Nigerian, love one Nigerian more than the North and the West. They believe in one Nigeria and nothing but one Nigeria to them. You see, when British government, no, first of all, Nigeria we are operating under three arms, North, West, and East, before the creation of Midwest. Now, Biafra produce palm products and timbers. Midwest produce timbers. West produce cocoa and cola. North produce rice and skin, cotton and groundnut. Then when they look at it, Zeke call the whole party, let us bring our resources one and make it federal resources. They said no. I will say no. Ahmadu Bello said no. Because they feel that they are producing more agricultural products more than the East. They drag. They say no. But when oil was located in Biafra in 1936, in Eastern region as of that time, 1936, by Dutch. British came out and said, let it be federal. Zeke and the Eastern region people say no. As far as these people refuse their own to come together to be for federal. Now, is it all that will be federal? British persuaded that it must surely be federal. It must surely be federal. They succumb. Zeke agree. You see how one Nigeria started division. Then NCNC supposed to be national party because they feel that after the death of Herbert Macaulay, Zeke took over. Zeke was the secretary of NCNC. This started from NCNC National Youth. Our will form Egboson Boys to characterize the influence of Zik in NCNC. Britain advised North to form NPC to break the power of NCNC, because NCNC was strongly controlled by Easterners, Eastern Nigeria, and they are fighting for total liberation of Nigeria from Britain. Then, when British discover what was going on, they said the South entirely, you have come up to rule yourself. Take yourself independent and leave North. North is already for independent. I will agree for Southern self-independent. Zik say no. He believes in one Nigeria. That if the South were not able to emancipate themselves together with North, British will rule North forever. Zik say no. I will struggle. Zik say no. That's why I will went and form his own party, action group, separate his people from NCNC, form action group, then not to form NPC. And when Zik approached Ahmadu Bello, the then Sadwana of Sokoto, ask him, call him Ahmadu, he answered him, Zik, he said, let us forget our differences and come together and collect this independence from white men. Ahmadu Bello told him, Zik, let us solve our differences first before independence. Because if we don't solve our differences first before independence and took this independence, the differences will continue as it is today. Zik said no. He believed in one Nigeria. Then Ahmadu Bello told him, you can go with your independence. Go with whatever you like. But we are not interested for independence. We don't need independence. Because they are not matured to rule themselves. Unless the South will wait for the next 15 years, but that time North may be able to govern themselves before independence. This is what Ahmadu Bello told Zik. Already, I will have formed his action group. You will know that it was the Easterners, the Igbos, that digging the grave, they are falling into it now. They are the ones that dig the grave, they are falling into it now. Had they been, Zik agree to delay the independence, not to force Britain, not to smuggle Britain out of Nigeria. The hatred Britain have on we, the Easterners of Biafra today, who have been minimized. And watch, from independence to 1999, when Obasanjo took over power, it almost that 15 years, Ahmadu Bello said, this was the time not relinquish power to the South as in general. The one Obasanjo rule from 1978 to 1979 was accident, not deliberate, accident. You can see from that independent, not continue ruling until 1999, when they submit power to South. And we see that that time was almost 50 years, or exactly 50 years. Now, the same Easterners, Igbos, destroy regional government. I have to tell you the truth. Iransi was the one who destroyed regional government. And he started the government now that is killing Igbos and Biafra in general. After the failure of Uzogu revolution, Iransi hijacked that Uzogu revolution and destroy regional government and installed unity government. We then not to shout, Araba, Araba, Bamuso, Bamuso, divide, divide, we don't want.